but it says it's only got 19,000 miles. All right, it's here again. This is week 3. 302,000 miles. And he bought
Trace.
You hear it? I think somebody's trying to get out. All right, so no agenda today. We're just gonna go through, look at some of these cars, see what we can see, and I'm gonna show you what dealers are actually paying for a lot of these vehicles that are out here being auctioned off today. All right, so all these cars right here, these are something I'm paying very close attention to. These are all independent dealers. And this, we can look at the numbers of these coming to the auction, and that can kind of gauge the health of the used car market, because the more independent cars we see coming to auction, the more that we know these independent dealers are in trouble. Get a lot of questions about heavy duty trucks, so we'll check this one. It's 2012, it's a F250 Super Duty. It's Power Stroke. It's got 211,000 miles. There you go, it's a 6.7. It's got a lot of miles on it, right? And it's rough, but we're still going to check it because a lot of these trucks can actually last a very long time if they're taken care of. This one maybe not so much taken care of, ripped, but you're going to see it's still going to command a very large price, a big price, significant. It's going to bring a lot of money. All right, so 2012 F250 Lariat. It's got 211,000 miles. We'll check it, see what it brings. So I'll give you an example why it's bad right now, and maybe it wasn't 12 months ago. Because 12 months ago, these independent dealers, instead of sending them to auction and try to dump them and try to make quick money, what they would do is they would fix them. And they would fix them, put money into them, because they knew that they would be able to get out of them. They would be able to sell this vehicle for whatever price they put on it, because money was just there. People were still getting loans on these vehicles. It was still easy to acquire a loan on any of these cars. But you fast forward to now, 12 months later, now it's very difficult to sell a vehicle unless it's priced right, because the interest rates are so high, inflation is so high, that people can't afford these monthly payments that would be associated with a car that's, let's say, maybe $2,000, $3,000 more than what it's actually worth if these dealers are trying to sell it for that. So dealers can't do that anymore, and because they can't do that anymore, they're not fixing them anymore, and they're sending them to auction to try to turn some quick money, because they got floor plans coming due, they got interest payments coming due, they got to make quick money to pay their bills, and they're not doing it by selling their own vehicles, because demand is in the toilet right now. And the reason I am able to be here and do a video for you guys is because Alex is going to check out cars for our business.
What's up?
What's up, what's up? And this is a beautiful Dodge Caravan.
Paint is actually decent.
I'll tell you what, Dodge Caravans, they're ugly, right? They're vans, mom-mobiles. I built, my business was built on the back of Dodge Caravans and Ford Tauruses, but these kind of things right here. Love them. They're cheap, they're good vehicles, and we sell the crap out of them. All right, we can check this one. It's kind of the mid-tier range here. It's 2017. It's got 110,000 miles on it. Outside, the body looks great. Inside actually looks pretty good too. Got it just a little bit of wear and tear. It doesn't even really need to be cleaned up. Just a good vacuum and wipe down. It'll look pretty good. But we'll see what a dealer will pay for this inside. It's a 2017 Kia Soul. It's got 110,000 miles. All right, so it's hot, and this is auction number 2 for me today. So I'm actually going to give you the prices at the end of the video from the comfort and the air conditioning of my own home. All right, it's here again. This is week 3. All right, they cut a hole on the outside of the door to get to the inside of the door to fix it. There's actually 3 or 4 heavy-duty trucks here. So we've gotten a lot of you asking about prices for them, so we're going to check them. This one's also got high mileage. It's got 302,000 miles. It's a 2011 F250 Super Duty. Yeah, 6.7 in this one too. Inside actually looks better than the last one. Maybe not. Gross. All right, there you go. If you buy it, it could all be yours. So we'll check this one, see what it brings. It's a 2011 F250, and it's got 302,000 miles on it. All right, this is a 2012 F250. It's got 155,000 miles, so a lot better mileage than the other ones. 6.7 still. And this one's the cloth seats, and it's pretty rough. Mileage better, but a little on the rough side. Not a little on the rough side, a lot on the rough side. So we'll check this one, see what it brings. And it's 2012 F250, and it's got 155,000 miles on it. All right, we got a Charger right here. This one's interesting because it's most likely a repo. It's a 2014. It's got 170,000 miles. Outside looks okay on it. I'll go check the inside. He's done. Inside, actually, it's most of the time, especially with these repos and these Chargers and Challengers and stuff, they are almost always ripped up on the inside, and this one actually looks okay. Outside, I do not like the custom paint work that they've got on it, but anyway, it's a repo, so we'll check to see how much it brings. It's a 2014 Charger. It's got 170,000 miles. All right, here's another one that is most likely a repo. A lot of people ask me, how do I know it's repo? It's because I can see the seller, and I know the seller is a buy here, pay here dealer. What that means is that they hold their own notes, and I've actually talked to the seller, and they say that most of their stuff that they send here, they are repos. So that's how I know that most likely this is a repo. So this is a 2015 Camaro. It's got 155,000 miles. We'll check the inside. You know what? I need to actually look at the motor, see which motor's in it. All right, so this one is the 3.6 motor. That's important on this. So 2015 Camaro, 155,000 miles. All right, so I guess we're just seeing that this is the Ford truck episode. I said episode again. I keep saying that. It's so stupid. It's a video. I am a used car dealer that puts videos on YouTube. It's a 2015 F-150 Lariat. It's got 115,000 miles on. Outside body looks pretty good. Inside body, I've been to another auction this morning. You can tell that I am tired. Inside of the truck looks actually pretty good. Needs to be vacuumed, cleaned out a little bit, but overall looks good. It's a F-150 Lariat, 2015. It's got 115,000 miles. We'll see what it brings inside. All right, so this one's actually really, really interesting. It's a 2014, but it says it's only got 19,000 miles. So usually if the miles aren't right, then they'll put TMU on where the miles go. So true miles unknown is what that stands for. So typically whenever they put the actual miles on the windshield, it's supposed to be the correct miles. So someone just bought this Mustang and never drove it, but it's a 2014 and it's only got 19,000 miles on it.
All right, so I've got a bone to pick with Alex. So I have never been recognized outside of some kind of car event, an auction, being at a dealership like that. I've been noticed at those places, but Alex went through a drive-through a few weeks ago, and the person at the drive-through window recognized him from my channel.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I haven't been recognized yet. So, so he arguably is more famous than I am on my channel.
It was a cool experience.
It's the hair.
It's got to be.
He needs to cut it.
Maybe the beard too.
It's not the beard, it's the hair.
Yeah.
He needs to cut it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 17, 18, let's go! 1700 number 1, 1700 number 1, number 1, 2,
All right, so this is Dave. Everybody say hey, Dave. So whenever I miss a car, I come in here and he tells me what it went for and if it sold or not. So we appreciate Dave. All right, here with Alex, and he bought
Trace.
3 cars. Trace is in Espanol.
C.
Trace means 3. So any ifs? All sales.
All sales.
All sales. So a lot of the more expensive stuff is interesting. We saw a lot of no sales, a lot of if bids, but the cheaper stuff, they're
2,000 today.
Yeah, they're letting go of a lot of that cheaper stuff. Well, that's typically the case anyway.
Yeah.
But we saw a lot more dealers here today.
There were a ton of people here
Yeah,
today.
so the thing that it could be is that next week is 4th of July. So it could be that dealers are buying now because they're not going to be here next week. So we might be able to buy some stuff cheaper next week. That's what we're hoping for. But a lot more dealers here than what we've been used to, at least. So we'll keep monitoring that and see what goes on.
Yep.
So here's actually one of the ones that Alex bought. It's a 2003 Jeep Liberty. It's got 165,000 miles. You only pay $1,600 for it, so that's a good deal. He checked it out. Everything seems to check out fine on it. We'll mark it at probably $3,000 and sell it at that. That's fair for this, but probably the buy of the sell. Alex always gets the buy of the sell.
All right, price time. So that 2012 F250 had 211,000 miles on it. It brought $15,600 in the lane, and the seller said, no, we can't do that. They needed $16,500, and the bidder was not willing to go up any more on that vehicle, so they just flat out no-sold it. All right, the 2017 Kia Soul, it had 110,000 miles. It brought $6,800 in lane, and it was put on a if. All right, the 2011 F250, it had 302,000 miles. It only had one bid, but it brought $9,000. They put it on if, they put it on a phone call. All right, now the 2012 F250 that had 155,000 miles, it brought $17,000 in lane, and they sold it. All right, the 2015 F150, it had 115,000 miles. It brought $20,000 in lane, and it sold. The 2014 Mustang, it had 19,000 miles on it, and it was said to be true miles on it. It brought $16,600 in lane, and it sold. All right, so the 2014 Charger, it had either 110,000 miles or 170,000 miles. I can't read my notes. I'll put it on the screen because obviously we just watched it. But it brought $3,400 in lane, and they sold it. All right, the 2015 Camaro had 155,000 miles, and it brought $6,600, and they put that on a phone call, on if. All right, so we checked out 8 cars for you guys, and of those 8, only 4 of the vehicles actually sold in lane. This is actually a good thing for the market. This is we want to see more no sales go through the auctions, and that's going to help lower the prices, because as we see more no sales, that means that these dealers are going to have to hold on to their inventory just a little bit longer, and they're going to be more willing to cut the prices. And as we have the wholesale prices come down, then that'll start trickling into the retail market. You're not seeing it yet because now we're just starting to see this downtrend in the wholesale prices. But wholesale has to come first, and then you'll see the dropping of prices on the retail side. All right, that's stupid. We'll take that out. Oh, that's so dumb. All right, let's start over again. New camera set up. Let's see how this works. All right. Ooh, that's bright. Oh, that's weird. Now I can't even see the camera. Oh, I'm blinded. All right. Make it happen. On it, and it brought, is that 110 or 170? All right, the 2014. Okay. It's got to be 170,000 miles. As they no sell these cars, I'm vamping at this point. It doesn't need to be this long.